Imagine losing everything because you trusted someone who seemed credible. Think Bernie Madoff, the man behind the largest financial fraud in U.S. history. A shocking example of ethical collapse, isn't it? It's a chilling reminder of the fine line between ethics and law. Picture the scene. Bernie Madoff, a respected figure in the financial world, running a legitimate business. But behind the scenes, he was orchestrating a Ponzi scheme of epic proportions. His actions were, on the surface, legal. He was operating within the framework of the law, at least initially. But, as we all know, the legality of his actions masked a deeply unethical operation. Madoff's clients trusted him. They believed in his credibility, his reputation, and they paid a high price for it. Their trust was exploited, their savings vanished, and their dreams shattered. The fallout was devastating and the ripple effects far-reaching. Consider this. Madoff's actions were legal until they weren't. But were they ethical? Most certainly not. Herein lies the enigma of ethics versus law. Legality and ethics often run parallel, but they're not always aligned. The law is a set of rules imposed by a governing authority, a framework within which society operates. Ethics, on the other hand, is a moral compass, an internal guide that helps us distinguish right from wrong. But the boundaries can blur, the lines can cross. What's legal isn't always ethical, and what's ethical isn't always legal. It's a delicate balance, a dance of sorts. And when the music stops, as it did for Madoff, the consequences can be severe. This tale of trust betrayed, of ethics disregarded, serves as a stark reminder of the importance of ethical conduct, in business and in life. It underscores the need for a moral compass, for a sense of right and wrong that goes beyond mere legality. Now, let's dive into the fascinating world of ethics and law, and how often they intersect and sometimes conflict. Have you heard of natural law? It's the idea that certain rights or values are inherent by virtue of human nature and universally recognizable through human reason. Natural law is as old as philosophy itself, tracing its roots back to the ancient Greeks, with the likes of Socrates and Aristotle. They believed in a universal truth, a set of moral and ethical codes inherent in human nature, discernible through reason and reflection. Over centuries, this concept has been discussed, dissected, and debated, ultimately influencing the formation of modern legal and ethical systems. Think about the concept of human rights. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, for instance. These are not gifts bestowed upon us by governments or societal institutions. Rather, they are intrinsic, born from our very existence as human beings. This is the essence of natural law. Consider the right to life. It's not something that was dreamt up by a group of lawyers in a stuffy courtroom. It's a fundamental principle that every human being has the inherent right to live, to exist. It's a right that transcends borders and cultures, universally recognized and respected. Liberty, the freedom to act according to one's own will, is another cornerstone of natural law. It's the belief that every individual has the right to make their own choices, to live their life as they see fit, without undue interference or coercion. And what about the pursuit of happiness? This might seem a bit more subjective, a bit more elusive, but at its core, it's the right to seek out what brings us joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment. It's the freedom to strive for a better life, to chase our dreams, to aspire to greater things. These are just a few examples of natural law, but they illustrate the profound influence it has on our lives, our societies, and our legal systems. But is natural law always aligned with societal law? Let's find out. Societal law, the rules that govern our behavior in society, often mirrors natural law. But there are instances where it deviates. Let's take capital punishment as an example. Natural law, stemming from our innate sense of justice, might argue that taking a life, no matter the circumstance, is fundamentally wrong. Yet societal law in some nations permits capital punishment, arguing it serves as a deterrent for heinous crimes. Here, the societal law, in its pursuit of maintaining order, deviates from the principle of natural law that every life is sacred. Another example could be restrictive immigration laws. Natural law advocates for the freedom of movement, the idea that every human being has an inherent right to move and reside wherever they wish. On this planet, however, societal law, driven by security concerns, economic factors, and sometimes even xenophobia, puts restrictions on immigration. This clearly illustrates a conflict between societal law and natural law. These examples highlight the complexities lawmakers face when crafting societal laws. They have to balance societal needs, which are often driven by practical considerations, with the principles of natural law, which are more philosophical and rooted in human dignity and freedom. This balance is a delicate one. Lean too much towards societal needs, and you risk trampling on fundamental human rights. Lean too much towards natural law, and you risk creating a society that is idealistic but unworkable. The complexity doesn't stop there. Societal laws also have to adapt to changing societal norms and values. For example, societal attitudes towards same-sex relationships have changed significantly over the past few decades, and societal laws in many countries have evolved to reflect this shift. So, societal law is not just a reflection of natural law, but also a mirror of the society it governs. It's an intricate web of rules shaped by practical needs, philosophical principles, and societal values. And then we have our personal moral compass guiding us. How does that fit in this puzzle? We all have our personal set of morals, our understanding of right and wrong. But what happens when our personal morals clash with societal law? Picture this. You're a doctor and a patient under your care has a terminal illness. They are in constant, unbearable pain and have expressed a desire for assisted suicide. Yet, the law in your country strictly prohibits euthanasia. Here lies an ethical dilemma. Your personal morals might dictate that it is compassionate to alleviate the patient's suffering, but the law firmly states otherwise. This is just one example of how personal morals can create ethical dilemmas. These dilemmas often arise when we're forced to choose between two conflicting moral imperatives: to lie to save a life, to break a promise to keep a secret, to steal to feed a hungry child. These are all instances where personal morals clash with societal expectations or laws. But let's dig a bit deeper into personal morals. What are they? Simply put, personal morals are the principles or habits with respect to right or wrong conduct that an individual holds. They're deeply personal, often shaped by our upbringing, culture, religion, and personal experiences. They guide our decisions, influence our behaviors, and determine how we interact with others. But personal morals aren't static. They evolve as we grow, learn, and experience life. What you considered morally right at the age of 15 might not align with your morals at 30. And that's okay. It's part of being human, part of our never-ending journey of growth and self-improvement. However, it's important to remember that our personal morals don't exist in a vacuum. They're part of a larger societal context, often clashing with societal laws or the morals of others. This can lead to conflict, misunderstanding, and yes, ethical dilemmas. So, as we grapple with these dilemmas, we need to ask ourselves, what do we value more? Our personal morals or societal laws? And how do we navigate the gray areas in between? Ethics and law may not always see eye to eye, but there's a place where they must: the business world. Business ethics and corporate social responsibility, they're not just buzzwords. They're the very fabric that holds corporations accountable. Business ethics, essentially, is the application of moral principles to the realm of commerce. It's about recognizing the impact our decisions have on various stakeholders, from employees and customers to the environment and society at large. Think of it as the compass that guides a company's actions, ensuring they're not only legal but also fair, equitable, and beneficial to all involved. Take, for instance, a company deciding to cut corners to increase profit margins. While this might be legally permissible, business ethics would question the fairness of such an action. Would it be fair to the employees who work hard only to see their efforts undermined? Would it be fair to customers who trust the company to deliver quality products and services? On the other hand, corporate social responsibility, often abbreviated as CSR, is a business model that helps a company be socially accountable. It's about companies taking responsibility for their impact on society and the environment. It's about businesses going beyond profit-making and contributing positively to the world around them. Think of a company choosing to use recyclable materials in their products, or a corporation investing in community development. These actions may not directly contribute to the bottom line, but they make a significant difference in the world. They demonstrate a company's commitment to CSR. In essence, both business ethics and CSR influence corporate decisions and impact society at large. They guide companies to make choices that are not only profitable but also responsible and ethical. They encourage businesses to consider the broader implications of their actions and to strive for a balance between economic success and societal well-being. So where does this leave us? Ethics, law, personal morals? They're all parts of a complex jigsaw puzzle that makes us human. How does the case of Bernie Madoff exemplify the disconnection between legality and ethics? And what lessons can individuals and institutions draw from it regarding trust, credibility, and ethical conduct in the financial realm? In the context of natural law and societal law, can you discuss a contemporary issue where the principles of natural law conflict with established legal frameworks? How does society navigate such conflicts? And what implications do they have for the legal system and moral philosophy? Considering the intersection of personal morals and societal laws, how can individuals reconcile their personal ethical principles with the expectations and regulations imposed by society? Can you provide examples of situations where individuals face moral dilemmas due to conflicting personal morals and societal norms or laws, and how they might navigate such dilemmas ethically?